Mary, let me turn to you first. Sean Duffy, as Craig and I just discussed, is not going to run against Tammy Baldwin in 2018. What do you think's going on there?
I think that Republicans obviously think they have a good chance at defeating Tammy Baldwin. That said, it's one thing to think Republicans can win, and it's another to risk your livelihood. So obviously, Representative Duffy could not run for Senate and House of Representatives at the same time. So should he lose, he would then lose a major source of income for his large family with, I think, 8 children.
8 children, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would think that might be a factor in the decision.
Well, and he said that in his statement. In fairness, he said it's about family.
Yeah, and he said he
kids
talked with Rachel and talked and prayed
He's
about
talked
it.
about how hard it is to make it on his income as it is.
Right, and
8
she.
kids, I mean.
Still, it's
She works-
170,000.
Yeah. So I think that's got to be a factor in the decision of like, what if Senator Baldwin wins and then he's out of a job and all of a sudden, I guess he would go back into law maybe, but.
So how much do you think the interview on CNN, what was it, last week, what kind of impact did that have? That got terrible reviews pretty much across the board.
Yeah, it was not good. I mean, I think that it was saying that good things came out of the Charleston church shooting where multiple people were killed. Did not play well. I think that people were
distinguishing between
white
terrorists
terrorism
and Muslim terrorists.
Right.
I think if he really wanted to run, though, if this was, I have my heart set on it, I'm going to do it, that was not great, because there are a lot of politicians who have bad interviews or bad appearances. Bill Clinton had a terrible speech at the Democratic convention.
Donald Trump didn't always do well in his public appearances either.
Right, but I think if he was really set on it, but I think you do have the issue with the family. I hope he's not going to become the Ron Kind of the delegation where his name comes up on everything, but he runs for nothing. But I think that was probably a factor, but I wouldn't say it would be a deciding factor.
Okay, so Dan, who might run?
Well, as Craig said, a lot of them are from this area. We have Dale Kooyenga, who's thinking about running, Kevin Nicholson, who's almost nobody knows, but is doing a lot of work planning to run. Leah Vukmir's been mentioned as someone who's thinking about running. Eric Hovde, who ran last time and finished second in the primary from Madison. Those are some of the people who are thinking about running. But it's a pretty open field. I don't think any of those individuals have high name recognition around the state. And the question will be, just as it was the first time Tammy Baldwin ran, will they be able to clear the field for one of these candidates? Will it be Eric Hovde? Will it be Kevin Nicholson or whatever? I get the sense that Eric Hovde really wants to run. So unless it's him, there's probably going to be at least a two-way primary.
Well, and Hovde would have an advantage of having a fair amount of money of his own to throw at the race.
Right. That's true. But, they were, in particular, Tommy Thompson and some of the super PACs involved in the last race were able to drive up his negatives late in that race. And despite how much he spent, and he spent a fair bit of money, he ended up still losing to Thompson, who was, incredibly popular and stuff. But, you saw some flaws with Hovde in the first race.
So we're not going to see Tommy come out of retirement
No,
again?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I mean, that was not a pleasant experience for him.
No,
and
it wasn't.
The problem with him is, since Hovde did have money, he drained the Thompson's campaign of everything, and so the general election started, and it was Tammy Baldwin on the air by herself.
With some very good ads, as I recall.
Yeah, he's not the guy you voted for.
Not the guy you remember.